Hello, welcome back to Showtime, where today we're doing the challenge, where you have to rotate your turret all the way around before you can fire your next shot. Here in Riveting TV, we normally like to improve our game, not only for ourselves, but everyone on our team, and raise that win rate. But today on Challenge Time, we're just dicking around and being twats. Yeah. So in part one, we had our hero and our I want to say villain, but our two heroes. One who was very successful in his T20 and one that was not so successful in their T34. But I did get a lot of emails, so I think a lot of people were unsuccessful. However, let's see someone who is normally very good at the game and see how they cope. And they've chosen the fabled Chinese tank, the Z131 or whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about. Right, and here it is. It's, from his point of view again, it's monatomic. He just lost his Clan Wars, we're afraid. However, we're going to see how well he does in the challenge. So, he's decided to go through the city, and we'll see if he manages to pick the right tank, or if he makes the right choices with his turret. And maybe some hilarious things happen to him in the meantime. Just at the moment he's patrolling around looking for something to do. He still hasn't fired his first shot and he hasn't spanned his turret. Doop 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 beep doo doop boo. He's doing a very normal and sensible thing, by the way. If you notice, his teammates are moving in from the north, and he just did a few laps to make sure he waited for his teammates to help him before he would go and engage. He's not playing this game stupidly, although he is going to be rotating his turret with the manual reloading that is required of the challenge. Hello, Churchill. Bang! Straight in the side. Monatomic knows that if he moves his mouse more than 50% round his tank, the turret will go back the other way. So that is also a reasonably good reload time. It happened just before the end of the rotation, so that's not bad at all. And he spins his turret around all the way around again. Cool. And he's going to take another shot. Great. So far, so good. No pressure. All the time in the world to reload and rotate that turret. Comes back out for another shot, but unfortunately the Churchill got away. Doop 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 doo doo doo. Come on, let's work together. So I've got the break song in my head now. Have you noticed, guys, that the settings above the tanks have all been changed again? They've all lost their icons again, but I'm not going to change them again because I can't be bothered. They only seem to save when you actually play from the client. And he gets around the back of an M103, takes a shot in his back, and reload. Manual reload. Chug it. Chug that manual reload. One of the biggest disadvantages of doing the reload like this is the fact that you can't actually maintain vision of your opponent, and you have to actually hope that he's still there and that, you know, that you're still in the right position to do it. But there's another great reload. He's still at 100% HP, and he's done a serious amount of damage, proving that this challenge was not impossible for the people who said it was. Another reload here, and it's all about careful positioning. Oh, will he get the back of that? IS goes down. Does he forget? Oh, he almost forgot about the reload there as he went too far with his mouse. And this time he turns his toe to finish off the rest of the reload. He almost spun his turret around the entire way, but decided to finish it off with his hull. Perfectly valid. As long as the turret ends up back at the same location it shot from, it's a valid reload. Coming around the corner, he's being largely ignored. How lucky can you be? The enemies just seem to pay him no mind as he's reloading his tank with his rotational turret. And none of the enemies even know that Monatomic is doing this. In fact, this video released on the internet would probably shame their entire team to uninstalling. But the first ricochet happens and he's now under threat, reversing his way down with unable to be able to see where the enemy is coming from. He comes around with a reload and fires again. And this time he actually took damage from the massive T-34 shot. He's still remembering to reload though. Oh, he was so lucky there that Kuk in his IS-8 had managed to rush his shot ever too quickly. But the IS-8 at close range, Monatomic forgot that the lower armor is so bouncy at range, and he's taken out by artillery. Valiant effort, Monatomic. Unfortunately, too little too late. His teammates clearly were not able to keep up with his awesomeness with his turret rotation, and you see the weakness there of being able to not maintain vision on your opponent while running away. Bravely, I might add, but his opponents were unaware of what he was doing. If he had actually sent me the XP for the games, I would gladly show you them, but I don't believe he did. Let me just double check my folder, and no, he didn't. So I can't actually show you how well he did because he didn't tell me. I'm going to quickly set up the icons again to see if I can actually save them this time, because I can't leave it, and I'm anal. I just can't do it. I can't leave it like that. I have to complete things. I can't leave them half done without severe pain and anguish to myself. But we're going to fast forward this game, as Monatomic didn't do the challenge once, but he did it twice. But this time he chose a bit of a different tank. As you'll see in a second as I load up the replay, he decided in the second attempt, okay, the first one I did well, but I got so frustrated with the fact that I had to rotate my turret because I could have done so much better if I didn't. He goes, I'm not going to do it in one of my good tanks. I'm not ruining the stats of one of my good tanks. I'm going to do it in my MS1. Yeah, so Monatomic decides to do his challenge number 2 in his MS1, and let's see how he fares against the lower tiers with this challenge. I see that he has an engine speed governor on his MS1. Do you want to tell us a little secret there, Monatomic? What you like doing there with your MS1? Rotation of the turret, please. As he does his fully camouflage MS1, is trying to snipe from the hilltops. However, he's not using the bush particularly well because he knows full well that if he fires right now, the bush will no longer protect him. But he's still going to do it anyway and rotate around. Probably the best tier 1 to do this with. I don't think any of the others would have been any better. I think rotating with your hull at the same time as your turret would have been probably a good choice with the MS1, although he's going to play this incredibly cautiously. Boom! Got him. I do not believe he's been spotted. I've got a feeling he's got 6th sense on this tank, so we're going to know when he's spotted. But he's got to fire it again. Waiting for that perfect aim, so it doesn't matter. It's not about DPS, it's about getting the hit. He doesn't want to fire a rush shot and then have to reload again. He's making every shot count as much as he can. Can he still pull off a tier 1 battle win? I'm actually going to fast forward it a bit because he's obviously camping. And he goes for another shot over on the far side. He didn't get it in time, but he misses. Fires a very long range shot with the MS1. You can't expect them all to hit. Another shot against another MS1. Oh, will he guess or will he not? Nope, he decided I'm not taking a blind shot when I have to rotate my turret to reload. But he does get a good shot there on the low tractor. And boom, he gets another kill. Nice. So at 1, he's got 1 kill there, but he's not been fired upon yet. So this is actually a valid tactic, if not a bit sneaky, of hiding in a bush to do your rotation. Perfectly valid. I do think the hero so far, though, was Goldsmith in his T-34 as he attempts to scramble around and shoot frantically at the opponents. What a brave soldier he was. Died gallantly in battle. Now we see Monatomic actually braving the front lines, leaving out from the safety of his hubby hole to trying to find more prey. Bang! Nice shot. Rotation is coming in, but he's now hit on both sides. The turret is actually going around the wrong way. He's actually going around the other way again. Has he noticed? Or did he say, sod it, that's good enough? It went half one way and then half the other. I think he's given up and saying that's good enough. The turret went half one way, half back again. It's not a full rotation by the literal sense, but considering how long he's been before he's fired again, I don't think he's abusing the rules, but merely couldn't see from the obscurity of the bush that was in the way. Scotto's trying to hide, but it's not going to work. That T1 is too big. However, it hit the rock. Monotomic's now fearing for his life. With only 14 left, he cannot take another hit from anything. And he's still having to reload by rotating that turret. How else are the shells meant to get into the breach? Come on, guys. That's how tanks work, really, right? That's how tanks work. They don't work any other way. How else do you think they get shells into the breach? Come on, guys. Use your brain. Scott comes out, which is going to be his demise to Monotomic's patience as he doesn't go out fully. Monotomic almost forgot that he had to rotate his turret there for a second, but decides to go and rotate to make sure that he is not invalidating this attempt on the challenge. NGWM, what a name, is hiding over there with his MS1. Monotomic, not being swayed by the pressures of Tier 1, will not go out and fight them. He will stay back. This is important. He cannot lose. He has a reputation, you know. And the collection of letters is poking out his front. But will he be able to get a penetration at this range? No. The answer is no. I don't think he thought so either, but he just had to have the try. He had to pay the price though. Rotation of the turret. And as we see him catch up, I'm actually going to do a bit of a fast forward to make sure that we aren't watching this forever as he decides to slowly pick apart the tier 1s. Back to normal speed as he climbs the hill to general fighter. I'm not sure if he is a general of fighters or if he is just a general fighter in general with a general dog's body. But he is 45 years old. I assume that's what the number means. For a second there, it looked like he's doing the challenge too. He was rotating his turret after every shot. That would be quite amusing, seeing two guys doing the same challenge. Monotomic, though, is not taking any chances. This is very serious business, this. Taking a shot there and rotating this turret. Will the enemy rush him? It looks like he did, but his teammate was able to support him. In Tier 1, a teammate support you? My God, I think I've seen everything. He hit the tracks. I said a penetrating damage shot. For people in the chat trying to say my statement was incorrect, which it wasn't. Ha! It was perfectly valid. Oh, Monotomic's seen two guys rush down the hill, and he's decided to fall back into safer lands. He doesn't want to die. His Chilaxor is being killed by Vnooks. Whatever. VN Nooks. Nix. A name. A name that probably doesn't mean anything. The guy sneezed at the time of typing his username and got a random collection of letters. And he said, "That will do, donkey. That will do." Let's fast forward a little bit left. There's only 4 enemy tanks left, but Monotomic wants to make sure they're all his. He wants Top Gun. He's only got 2 so far. First shot goes off, but he's now got all 3 of the enemies now surrounding him, and he's rotated his turret. The first shot goes past him. Will he be able to get his turret all the way around before he dies? The answer is yes. Can he aim up? 29 damage is enough to kill him, and Strono goes down to Monotomic's quick thinking reload. Because we know the fastest way to reload is rotating your turret like a boss. It guides your shells for perfect accuracy. And this, of course, is why we're doing it today. Ignoring his target on his right, Monatomic decides that he was going to be a boss and aim onto the left where there was nobody. He lucked out though and his teammate again killed somebody. He was saved twice by a teammate in tier 1. Pretty impressive. Tries to go for the long range shot, but it didn't work. And we see Monatomic closing in for his final kill, which he doesn't get because he failed. Boo-hoo. Still, decently done and showing you if you take it very seriously, you will still get good results even while rotating your turret. I have one last replay to show you, not from Monatomic, with someone who probably isn't going to take it so well. So serious. And the reason I say that is because he chose a particular tank that is voted quite often the most useless tank in the game. Do you know what it is yet? I'll show you. The M7. So Hanix, or Hanzax, I'll call him Hanzax. Hanzax has decided to pick the M7 as his tank of choice for the challenge. Now, not to question his sanity, but I do believe he is insane. However, he's a good sort of insane, and this guy is an absolute legend for giving us a shot in the M7. And here we go with him, trying to do this game, this battle, with an unarmoured massive tank with a pathetic gun. And for you to say that the M7 is awesome, drive one. It's quirky. You've got to love the M7. I still haven't sold my M7. I love it to bits, but it's useless. Come on. It's got no chance of bouncing. The armor is absolutely terrible, but it is really fun to play. Don't get me wrong. It is fun to play. I just don't believe it's that terribly effective. Here he goes round the back. He thinks what the best way to do this map is to go round the back. What else would he do on Ikaloof, where there are Churchill 1s, KV1s and T1 heavies on the enemy team in an M7 that he has to rotate his turret to reload, because the Americans couldn't afford an actual breach. Oh, and here we find his first target. He does have 6 cents on his M7. Clearly a favourite tank of his, but it was a no damage hit for a damage hit. So that was an unfortunate result for him. Come on, Hanzax, we're cheering for you, my friend. We are cheering. Boom. He nailed him bad. And the reload. Perfect. At the same time, he's actually keeping the guy lit, so his teammates are doing damage upon him. He will still gain the XP for it. So still being sensible, Hanzax in his M7. Like a boss. Received in the shot, not so much damage, and managed to get hit on the enemy, pretty good. Go for the reload and backing off, misses an artillery shell, but at the same time manages to reload and return. So far we've not seen any opponents notice anybody doing the challenge, which is surprising, but unfortunately his shell goes straight into the rock as he rotates that turret as quickly as he can, seeing that Plant Phoenix is coming as quickly as he can. He uses the zoom out mod, we can see, as he rotates down the hill while rotating his turret like a boss. I would say that the zoom out mod would be definitely helpful to keep an eye on your opponent while doing this challenge. So far he's the first guy using the zoom out mod. He's doing a nice rotation there, even though he didn't fire. So he's got a double reload. Double barrel shotgun time. Aiming a long distance shot against, was that a Stug? I think that was a Stug. But again, it hasn't saved my UI because everything's a bit messed up at the moment on my computer. And a shot against a KV1. No idea if this is hitting or not, but I don't think he knows either. Rotate, reload, and move on. M7 has a little bit of power in it, and I think it's just cute as a button. It's one of my favourite looking tanks. And before the British tea was released, the British tea was released. The British tree was released. I used this tank as the only British tank I wanted to drive. I had it with the 6-pounder gun, and just used it to be like a British import of an American steel. But climbing this hill is very dangerous. He's obviously spotted. Well, actually, I say he's obviously spotted. He's got 6th sense. He hasn't been spotted, or he's never been underspotted. That's the question. It looks like the Stug has noticed him, or whoever that is. The Marder 2, not as big as a Stug. From that distance, I just couldn't tell. Yes, he has been spotted now, but the Marder 2 is in the open. Takes the shell to the face. Profile Q is now closing in on the M7, but the M7 not scared. Hansax, our hero of the moment, is doing just fine. The Marder 2 wasn't fooled by his movements around the back, however, he was able to get the shot off first. The Marder 2 obviously wasn't looking directly at him, or else he would have shot. He comes up to see if he can find the Marder again, but I think the Marder's ran away at this point. But he was spotted first. Interesting. He's now losing the spotting war with the Marder. Easy to do. Them little things are stealthy little ninja bastards. There he is. Profile Q is looking right at him, but who gets the first shot off? Oh, it was Hansax, but he missed. But he backed away before the Marder 2 could either get a shot off or at least hit. Got to be careful though, there is still a gorilla alive. Great shot, but unfortunately hitting the tracks. And he comes back up for another shot. Very cautiously, however, a close range attack from an enemy Panzer III, I'm guessing. Ooh, can't see with the rotation going on, and he hits the dirt bank. Oh, it's a Panzer 38 NA, and normally he would win this absolutely easily, but he's struggling. Fortunately, the Panzer didn't notice that he had to reload by rotating his turret, and just drove into a wall himself. Maybe he was doing the challenge. I didn't see him rotating, but clearly his camera was not looking where he was going. Takes him down to 47 HP. It's in them close moments where this turret rotation seems to cause the biggest issues. When you're at distance like this, these players have figured out that it's quite smart if you just stay at distance sniping and rotating from a safe location in your armchair. Hansack owning like a boss in the M7, using its turret traverse speed and its damage and its elevation of its gun to be able to peek over hills, stay safe. And going round the mountains when he goes. He is going round the mountain when he goes. He is going round the mountain. Okay, and he comes round to the back of Churchill 1 that is really not paying attention. Aim to the back of the turret. Boom! Ding! Didn't go through. Whoopsie, should have aimed for the top of the engine block. He does do the rotation on the fly though, using his zoom out mod to be able to fully look out. The Churchill still isn't paying attention though, and this shot will go through to confirm another kill for the M7. Fantastic work from Hansax. If you had an autoloader tank, you would have to rotate between every shot. It doesn't say between reloads, it says between shots while you're reloading. And that also you have to do reload between shells, but it's just auto-loaded. It would be a bit of a waste to rotate. Boom! KV-1 goes down. 4 kills for Hansax. Absolutely impressive. M7, who said the M7 was useless? What a noob. M7's amazing. Look at that. The guy absolutely destroyed his opponent with careful play, peeking out, taking the shots. The only time he almost lost is when a tier 3 turned up to spoil his day. I think it was tier 3. Anyway, after the break, I'm going to take challenges from you guys as I try and rotate my turret when you get to pick any tank of mine for me to attempt it. You humiliated yourself or showed off your skills, so it's my turn to do the same to you. So, see you in a second after a song. La 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 la.